Hello, hello. Good afternoon, evening, morning. I'm having to just admit people in because it's one of those Zoom calls where you have to manually admit people. So I'm just doing that for a few minutes. Please settle in, chat amongst yourselves. Whatever it is you want to do is fine. Hope you guys are okay. Wanted to say very happy Thanksgiving to my American friends or everyone who's out there joining us today from the United States. I think it's tomorrow, is it Thanksgiving? Or is it, yeah, nod from Susan, it's tomorrow Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving, guys. Lovely to be able to connect with you beforehand on this wonderful occasion. Okay, so I'm just going to keep an eye on the people coming in, but hopefully I won't need to stop too much. Cool. So one sec, just open the chat. Oh, Susan says she's thankful for me. Oh, the sweetest. And I am thankful for you too. I'm thankful for all of you. I think we should, in the chat, we should go around and say what we're thankful for. Nobody is thankful for the, actually, maybe there are people thankful for this pandemic. I think it has changed a lot of lives. There's been good and bad, I think, in over this. Hannah is thankful for puppies. Who couldn't be thankful for puppies? I have a puppy too, a 2-month-old puppy. And despite the fact that this puppy is driving me absolutely crazy right now, I'm still thankful for it. Hannah, how old are your puppy? I know you've got like 3 dogs right now. How old are your puppies?
Oh, here we go. I couldn't see where to unmute myself. Lolita, the baby, she's kind of about 5.5 months. Ozzy's coming up for about 1.5 years. I think Daisy's probably about the same age.
I did not realize that your dogs were so young. That is a massive commitment to take on.
Since March. I've taken on all 3.
Yeah, one is crazy.
One I found in the village square, the littlest one I found in the village square, about 7 weeks old, abandoned, and yeah.
Oh my gosh! Like abandoned by an owner, or it looked like abandoned by its mother?
A possible owner, but she was very sick. She had mange and rickets and all kinds of stuff when I found her. Yeah, pretty much all my dogs were in a state. They're all rescues. And I've got one that I need to adopt out now who has been run over several times, and I've got him in a temporary foster right now, but he's going to need some surgery.
Holy moly.
And maybe village life is not for me.
Well,
I can't leave this is where when I was living in Antigua, I didn't really see this amount of suffering and cruelty.
I will say that I think it becomes habit. I do the same. I see an animal that needs a home, and then I'm like, oh, I've got a home. Let's just bring it in. And then you realize afterwards, like, what have I let myself in for? So anyway, yeah. So Hannah is grateful for puppies, and we all are. They're very sweet. But remember, a puppy is for life, not just for Christmas or Thanksgiving. Oh, good to see you guys. I think we've admitted some more people into the room. I'm going to just start any second now, I think, because where are we? I think we've got somebody who's not muted, but I can't see them. Okay. So, oh my God, we made it to November. Who would have thought? Where has this year gone? It's been in a haze of COVID this year, and I feel like we're coming towards the end of it. And it's, you know, it's a little bit like the Twilight Zone. Like usually this is the time where we're starting to wind down from a lot of hecticness, and we're thinking about Christmas and taking a break and then starting the new year. And, you know, we always have this pattern of resolutions and goals and what we're going to do and the plans we're going to make. And then suddenly I think a lot of people are feeling like, you know, I think we discussed and touched on in the last call that a lot of people are feeling like that process is not going to be the same anymore. It's going to have to be changed. And also on the last call, I talked about the coaching program that I'm going to be doing. Actually, I can share a link with you guys because we have a Black Friday offer on it, but I'm going to be starting a coaching program. Was initially supposed to be starting in early December, but I've pushed it back because a lot of people were saying that they were going to be away and they weren't going to be available and things like that, and they wanted to join. So I rescheduled it to January. And it's a group coaching program, and it's going to be one of those things. It's like reshaping and reinventing what we normally do around this time of year, the whole goals and new business and new start and how we're going to move forward and how we're going to grow and how we're going to develop. But we're going to be really tailoring this to the language we're going to be talking is pandemicese. So because that's the new global language of the world. Whenever we talk about anything now, whether it be holidays, travel, work, family, it's all centered around this rather extraordinary pandemic. So I would like to focus a coaching program around that. So obviously it's a brand new coaching program, and it's going to span the course of 2 weeks. Like I say, we were going to start in December, but we've pushed it back to January, and it starts on January the 6th. Let me just get you a link because it's going to be $297, but we do have a Black Friday offer for $97. So sorry to go directly into a pitch before we talk about what we're supposed to be talking about today, which is Black Fridays and offers and investments and things like that. But I just wanted to get this out the way and share it with you now so I don't forget, and then we can just carry on with the call. So should have been way more prepared to that. Here we are. Okay. So Jocelyn says, I heard someone mention Antigua, that's my home, and I miss it very much. Oh yes, Hannah used to live there. Oh, not the island. I didn't know there was an island. Okay, cool. So I've shared a link with you. That's a group coaching program. We're starting in January. We're going to cover 2 weeks. We're going to go like start to finish, just kind of a lot of, you know, a lot of self-development, personal development stuff, and then a lot of business focused stuff about if you're struggling, you know, there's a whole thing on there on that page about, you know, like, is this right for you? Who are you? And if you answer any of those things, yes, then that'll definitely be right for you. A lot of people finding themselves losing their jobs right now, furloughs ending, just admitting someone else into the room. And it's just one of those really uncertain times. And I wanted to give you guys something that will help you feel like you're gaining back control over the situation again in a world where we've just kind of been rolling from one day to the next, wondering what's going to happen, wondering if it's going to end. You know, they're talking about now in England, oh, we're going to be all back to normal by Easter, but, you know, how realistic is that? Just because there is a vaccine, that doesn't mean to say that, you know, suddenly travel's going to start again and business is going to be up and running again like normal. And, you know, there's going to be a recovery period from this injury that we've sustained this year. So I wanted to really kind of put together a program that's going to give you guys a way forward to move forward with your business, either starting it or growing it or shifting it, or pivoting is another word that people have been using a lot this year, and just kind of like start the new year as we mean to go on, as we normally do, but you know, nothing's normal anymore. Let me just turn the brightness up. Nothing is normal anymore. Anyway, let's talk about Black Friday. So I've noticed, particularly with online marketing, and we're going to talk about digital Black Friday here, because obviously in a lot of places right now, certainly places in England, the shops are closing. And although Black Friday is very much an American thing because it's off the back of Thanksgiving, Black Friday offers and sales are very much a global thing now. We do a lot in the UK. There's also, and they've started to do it on, Amazon in Germany and other places in Europe. So I think everyone knows pretty much about what Black Friday is. And it's deemed as the biggest sale day of the year. And then it's sort of extended out into Cyber Monday. And who the hell knows where Cyber Monday came from? I don't know. But if anyone knows, please share in the chat what exactly is Cyber Monday. All I know is it's a sale day extension of Black Friday. So I think someone made it up just to kind of like close some more sales somewhere along the line. So we're going to be talking about digital Black Friday, digital purchases, digital shopping. A lot of times people use Black Friday to do a lot of things, like it's the only one sale day in Apple, that they usually put their stuff on discounts, and a lot of people are thinking about purchasing. Usually they're going out to the shops, but that's kind of, in some places it might be normal, but in other places it isn't. Justin says we have someone stepped up. Cyber Monday, also known as Blue Monday, is a marketing term for the Monday after the Thanksgiving holiday in the United States. It was created by retailers to encourage people to shop online. And it does. So we've got Black Friday, which is sort of like the offline shopping day, and Cyber Monday, which is the online shopping day. So my offer is running from Black Friday through to Cyber Monday, and it's literally £200 off, $297 for the coaching program normally, which we're going to be pitching fully on with a webinar in December, but it's going to be £97 until Cyber Monday. So if you want to join that group coaching program, then it's a little investment of £97 to come on there and to participate with the rest of us. And we've got a little Christmas party planned as well. So although we don't start the coaching until January, there is a little pre-Christmas meetup to lift some spirits between the Christmas and New Year period. That really odd week where nobody quite knows what to do, where you're still like tailing off at the end of Christmas, ready to start the new year. And, it kind of goes into like a little, you just go out on walks and stuff. So we'll be doing a little virtual party then, which I'm really looking forward to. Okay, so what to invest in this year on Black Friday? I don't know about you, but my email inbox has been absolutely bombarded with offers, and it's been a little bit like that. I've noticed that with also some of the bigger people as well, that, it's just been like offer after offer after offer. And I'm sure people are like really meaning well, like, for example, I'm the one doing it too, but it's like I want to put something together that's going to help people, and then sort of pitch it to them, and now is the time of year to do that. But then you find, because everyone's doing it at the same time because of these labels of these days, then it's like a minefield out there about what do you do, what do you invest in. Some people just close the email down and don't look at it until after Cyber Monday, because then they don't have to worry about it, and then they're like, I don't have to make those choices, I don't have to spend that money. I completely understand why you would want to do that, to be honest with you. So if you're going to close your computer on a Friday and not open it again until the Tuesday, I don't blame you. But if you're not somebody who's doing that and you do want to take advantage, I would say this year is the year very, very strongly to look at these Black Friday offers and all these things that are coming into your inbox, and decide if you're going to invest in something, to really invest in yourself. Okay, so whatever it is that's coming in order to kind of sift through the noise and everything like that, when they're coming into my inbox right now, I'm looking at it like, is this going to change my life? Is this going to improve me in some way? My health, my career, my business, whatever it is. And I've had offers for systems and tools and apps. I did upgrade an app because it was 86% off for lifetime. So I thought, yeah, that sounds good. So I did do that. But yeah, so self-development, I think, is key. So what we want to do, this is a good little exercise, and if you're thinking about what to purchase and what to buy at this time of year, I would definitely write a list down of all your problems. And I mean, I'm talking about like all the little problems that you feel that you're facing right now in life, because people are creating solutions out there to those problems. A lot of them have created solutions. It's nothing new. But I think that now is the time to focus more than anything on really focusing on the details of resolving those problems. We have additional time. We may not have additional resources. So this is why I'm suggesting you do it this Black Friday. Because you can save some money. But it's like writing down all those little problems, all the things like you know that you need to do, that you know you need to fix about yourself, about your life, about your home, about your, you know, your environment, your surroundings. And not just that, think about other people's problems as well. I shared a really great story. If you haven't already seen it in the Facebook group, I'm going to share this with you now because it was a really impactful little story that I saw. And it's kind of related to Black Friday because we don't have to just do things for ourselves. We can do things for other people too. So if you've not seen it in the Facebook group, let me just read it out to you now, because it was just, it's a really significant life lesson. And a lot of people liked it and shared it as well. So let me read you this story. So it's a picture of loads of balloons in a hallway, and it said they brought balloons to a school. One was given to every student who had to inflate it and write their name on it and throw it in the hallway. So the professors then mixed up all the balloons in the hallway, and the students were given 5 minutes to find their own balloon. Despite a hectic search, nobody found their balloon. At that point, the professors told the students to take the first balloon that they found and hand it to the person whose name was written on it. And within 5 minutes, everyone had their own balloon back. The professor said to the students, "These balloons are like happiness. We will never find it if everyone is looking for their own. But if we care about other people's happiness, we will find ours too." So that was a very beautiful story. And I really kind of took that to heart, you know, and I really think as well, you know, the whole group coaching environment that we're going into in January is going to be a huge part of that. A lot of it is about collaboration, supporting other people, helping other people. So when you're looking at your self-improvement, your self-development, also look at your closest friends, your closest family, who needs something right now. We've got Christmas coming up. You know, it's a time that we give gifts, you know, no matter what we are. Christmas is a global language, whatever religion we're in. Most people know about it. Most people do something about it. And I think now as well, looking at all these Black Friday offers, it's not just about writing out your own problems and the solutions that you need to those, but it's also about looking at other people who you could potentially help. It doesn't have to be like a massive investment or something like that. But if, for example, you know someone is looking to start a business or something like that, you know, rather invest, you know, than invest like £50 on a really bad Santa jumper or something like that, you know, a reindeer jumper. Why not invest in something that you know is going to help them start their business, something that's going to actually make some kind of improvement into their life? And now is the time. I mean, we've only got a couple of days left till Black Friday, but now is the time to write down the names of your nearest and dearest and go and ask them, you know, what problems are you facing right now? What challenges are you facing right now? Like, what do you need in 2021 to make your life better? You know, and then try and look at the Black Friday offers that are coming through, and then think if there is anything else that would be very fitting for the people that are surrounding you that need a solution to a problem. So what I would suggest you look for this Black Friday is solutions to problems, not just your problems, but anyone who is nearest and dearest to you, and really take those serious and look at them. It's so easy to really discard a lot of the emails like, oh, this is like fluff, even on my own site, you know, I was doing this giveaway. For those of you who haven't seen it, when we're running a giveaway all week, if you're on the mailing list, you should have had an email about it. So we've been running this giveaway to give away 3 places on the coaching program in January, you know. So for sure, it's like, you know, this is what I'm doing, and, you know, you enter here, you know. And one person said, oh, you're just another person trying to build your list. They were actually on my list. So I don't know. But yeah, I am trying to build my list, because the more I build my list, the more people I can help. It's all about perspective and how you look at things. So if you are on somebody's list, do listen to what they have to say. If it's not interesting to you, then, you know, discard it. But if it is, then do something about it. Justin says, oh wow, hi Winston, nice to meet another Antiguan. Big smile. Cool. Nice to see you guys are all connecting on some common ground there. So the best investments are in yourself. And I want you to also allow yourself to dream and allow yourself to think of goals for next year. Allow yourself, like, pretend this pandemic thing isn't happening. I know it's really difficult because it's on the news every day. It's either been that or the American election right now. That's kind of the only thing that is going on. It's like, did anything else happen in the world? I don't know. But yeah, so try to set that aside and think about, you know, if there was no pandemic, what would I want to do next year? How, you know, is there something I want to learn? Is there something that, you know, a lot of people are kind of like not moving forward with things because they're concerned or afraid that, what if we don't come out of this? What might happen? You know, we're in a very like, well, what if it doesn't? You know, we're in a very negative kind of like frame of mind, I think, rather than thinking about the world is my oyster and I can do anything. We're kind of wondering like how we can box ourselves in to what everyone else is conforming to right now. And I don't think that should be the case. I just think we should still set goals. I think we should still have dreams. I think we should still focus on the things that we really want. Just find different ways, more unique ways, more outside of the box ways, you know, to make those happen. So write down all your problems, write down somebody else's problems, see if you can find the solutions, start thinking about your goals and seeing if anything fits in with your goals in the future. And don't be too concerned about things working out or not working out, because I'm a true believer that if you stay the path and you keep moving forward, if you don't move forward, then it's absolutely never going to happen. But if you do keep moving forward, then there's a slim chance that it could, or a very big fat chance that it could. So what have you got to lose, really? And, you know, if you don't do anything or try anything or take that course or learn that skill or upgrade that system that you've been thinking about using, you know, then there's absolutely no way you're going to do it unless you actually do it. So another thing I wanted to share, or things to look out in these Black Friday things, are investments into speed or time savers. I think this is going to be a really big one. For me, I've really put a focus on the end of this year, like going towards into next year. I'm still homeschooling my kids. I've got no actual plans to put them back in the school for a fairly long time. This is for personal reasons. It's also for financial reasons, because my kids' school that they're in wanted all of the year school fees up front in advance, because I think they were suspecting that they might be closing again. And they're non-refundable. So I think what they wanted to do is just take the entire year fee up, so they knew that they were okay. And if the school closed and the kids were still at home, well, tough. Yeah. And I didn't like the idea of being railroaded into that situation. For me, because I paid school fees for the last term and they weren't in school at all for the last term, I thought to myself, well, I'm not going to do that for the entire year moving forward. So it was a financial decision. I decided instead to invest in other activities, into homeschooling systems and things like that, the money that I would normally invest in the school. And I spoke to a couple of teachers, and they also said that if it was up to them, they didn't have to work and go back to school, then they probably wouldn't. And there's been multiple COVID cases found in the school since everyone went back. So it makes sense to me to just keep homeschooling. So There is another thing that's occurring. I wasn't intending to share this with you guys, but there's going to be a change in my family dynamic very soon, and I'm going to leave it at that. But when that occurs, you know, I'm going to have another part of my day taken away doing other things. So it really made me think to myself about time and how I'm going to find solutions to time. Because if we don't have the time, or we keep telling ourselves, it's like we almost reaffirm to ourselves, I don't have the time to do that, don't have the hours in the day. If we can't find the time or make the time, and it's really about making the time for ourselves, and it really is down to a choice of how you spend your time, then we won't be able to achieve the things that we want to achieve. The coaching program, for example, I've put as one of the criteria in there that you have to have at least 1 hour a day for the next 2 weeks dedicated to that coaching program, you know, and then you know yourself, if I don't dedicate an hour a day, then it's a bad investment to make. Okay. So what you want to do is make sure that you're able to commit to certain time things or pieces of time in order to achieve what you want to achieve. So if there is anything that you can invest in this Black Friday that will help you to save some time, to speed anything up that you currently do, then invest in it. It's a really good investment. I've been thinking a lot about that. I was thinking about income, expenditure, and things like that. And, you know, I decided to stop drinking alcohol, and instead I'm putting that money that I would normally put into drinking wine into hiring a cleaner 3 days a week. And I'm not spending any extra money. It's the same amount, you know, I'm literally spending on the cleaner what I would have spent on wine. I'm not an alcoholic, but the cleaners here are rather inexpensive. So I've decided to invest in that. So that has now freed up 3 hours of my time, 3 days a week, 3 to 4 hours of my time, 3 days a week. And I'm like, what am I going to do with that? How I'm going to invest that time wisely? So, although I'm sure there probably aren't any cleaners in the Black Friday sales that you can use, I want you to also start thinking about things, ways, you know, I've upgraded systems as well. I'm paying a little bit more for certain systems and tools that I use in my day, apps, that type of thing, that I know are going to help me to cut down time it takes to do tasks, you know. And I think a lot of us are feeling very frugal right now about what we're spending in terms of systems and tools and apps, and is it really necessary? Do I really need it? That type of thing. But if it's, you know, if you're asking yourself that question, and if it's something that will save you time, or it's something that won't mean that you have to spend even more time doing something because you cancelled it or you're not going ahead with it, then really, really think about, if you can save time, then yes, you need it, because you need time. You need more time. Even if you have all the time in the world, which nobody has, you need more time, unless you're retired, of course, and then you might not need it. But if you were retired and you didn't want to do anything and didn't want to work, you wouldn't be here right now. So I'm assuming that you do want to do something with your time. So that's another thing that I would definitely say, look out for in these Black Friday sales. Anything that's going to invest in speed or save you time. Again, invest in things that are going to help you achieve whatever goal it is you want to achieve, whether it's starting a business, growing a business. Think about your strengths and weaknesses. Think about the things that could really potentially improve your business in 2021. Are you weak on your marketing skills? What does that mean for you? Do you need to change a system? Do you need to invest in a course? Do you need to get help? Do you need to invest in another virtual assistant? Do you need to invest in a consultant? Someone's going to tell you what to do. You know, I'm coaching a lot of VAs right now who are switching more into a consulting role because a lot of their clients are wanting to do a bit more DIY, you know. And a way to retain clients in the virtual world right now is to help people be able to do that DIY stuff. And it's not about like, oh, well, you know, I'm going to take hours away from myself. It's just reshaping how you work with that client to be able to support them a little bit more in the way that they need to be supported. And when people are thinking about sustaining their businesses, sometimes we have to learn to adapt to what the client needs in order to be able to do that. So I know a lot of people are adapting their businesses, you know, to be like one lady I'm working with and coaching one-on-one right now. She's doing a lot more strategy stuff with her clients, because normally it's something that her clients would just pay for, or she's recognizing that there's a lot of people in business right now who were just getting started when COVID started up. So they didn't have the time to go through that learning process with their marketing or with their systems or their tools or their team. So now she's doing audits for people's businesses where she's just going to go in and tell them what needs to be done rather than doing what needs to be done. So also think about that, and think about this Black Friday, if there's anything that's going to help you meet the current demands of your clients right now, the ones that you're serving right now. If you've lost clients, don't say to yourself, oh, I've lost the client and I'm not going to, work with them again. Contact them, reach out to them and say, hey, in 2021, I'm really looking about how I can best serve clients. And I know that my services aren't something that you can afford right now or something you can do right now. But what are you struggling with? Maybe there is another way that you can shape what you're doing to help people in a more economical way for them, whether it be consulting, whether it be just on an advisory basis. There are many, many things that you can do right now. So if you're finding yourself in a position where you had clients and now you are edging away from those clients, you might be thinking to yourself, I just got to find new clients. But let's first of all backtrack and see what those clients are doing right now. Is there anything that they feel that they really need? How has life been without you for the last month, 3 months, 6 months, whatever? Are they missing you? That type of thing. It's all really good research. It's all really good information. Think about, well, what could I potentially do, for those clients? When Zilla says, I have 2 questions. Okay. Number 1, what platform would you recommend for freelancers? Podia, Adobe Business Catalyst, or WordPress? Adobe Business Catalyst is going to be closing in 2021 in September. So I definitely would not recommend that anymore. Although I did for years. I'm very sad that they're closing, but I have shifted into Podia. And really, it depends on what the freelancer is doing, offering, that type of thing. If it's a service-based business, you don't necessarily need something like Podia, because Podia is very much geared towards digital products and selling digital membership areas and programs and things like that. So if you're just a freelancer providing services and you're not in the training sector of that business or that industry, then really something as simple to get you started is a card site. There's a system called card.co. It's free unless you want the domain, and then you can upgrade. The lowest upgrade is something like $20 a year. So it's a very inexpensive system if you just wanted a bio information site about what you offer in terms of services. If you're doing something a little bit more comprehensive, for example, if you are someone who would like to work, obviously there's a lot of people moving into the digital space now. And if you're somebody who would like to work with people in the digital space, whatever platform you decide to use, just throwing it out there. Let's say, for example, you want to help people build membership sites, and Podia is your weapon of choice for building those membership sites. And I would suggest that you have your site also in there. I always get a little bit suspicious of VAs who recommend working with clients and recommend systems to clients, but they don't actually use them themselves. So I would also say, if you're a freelancer, be a little bit aware of what you're doing, what services you're offering, how you're offering them, and then making sure that there is some connection between you and that system or that tool as well, so the client can actually see that you're an active participant in that. So that's what helps. Hannah says she has a card site and it's perfect for her. Yep, if you've got an information only website, these are my VA services, I'm a freelancer, this is what I offer. Whether you're doing the one sourcing model with roles, or whether you're just, you know, doing the paper hour thing, then find something that fits in with you. WordPress, I know a lot of people who use WordPress. It's still a good platform. It's something that I would say, if you're going to use WordPress, use a system or a server host like WP Engine, because they do the backups and everything like that. Otherwise, if you're doing that stuff yourself and you're not particularly technical minded, then WordPress can be a headache. The reason I like Podia is because it's a content management system. I don't have to worry about any of the back end stuff. I don't have to worry about servers. I don't have to worry about backups. I don't have to worry about plugins. I don't have to worry about etc. etc. So for me, that's why I choose a content management system that does all that for you. But with WordPress, obvious reasons, there is a server and then there's WordPress. So you want to make sure you're a little bit tech savvy, or you're choosing a system like WP Engine where you can minimize the risk of hackers losing your site, missing a backup, that type of thing. Question number 2 was, where would one register a VA business if you plan on being a digital nomad? Well, that is a that is like an entire webinar in itself. But just to give you a general idea, it depends, first of all, on your nationality and your citizenship, because that will make a big difference as to which countries that you are able to register in, and also the benefits of registration within that country. So I can only really kind of advise you on things that I've found out from my own experiences, but I know Georgia is a very good place for that. Estonia is a very good place right now. There's the e-Estonia business that you can do, which a lot of digital nomads are going into right now in Estonia. I know people that have done it and they're very happy with it. And it's very much a digital nomad's paradise to do the Estonia business. So the e-Estonia residency / business thing is good, but I think you also have to go to Estonia to be able to pick up your card, I think, and be able to open a bank account there. So when you're thinking about registering a business, the thing that you want to really think about is, where can I register my business and get my corresponding banking in order as well? Because any business requires the ability to take money. Whether you're taking money directly into the bank or through another third party like Stripe or PayPal or something like that, the business account will essentially be required. I know a lot of freelance VAs who don't bother with the business side of things, the business account, and they kind of just have a personal account. But if you actually are intending to become a company, or potentially expand or hire people or do something a little bit more than beyond yourself, and sort of laying low, shall we say, staying low key, you know, in the middle of nowhere somewhere, you know, if you're in Timbuktu, I would probably say that, you know, registering a company and things like that, you know, you could probably get away with not doing it. But that's not the case for a lot of people. So you will need to register the business, and you'll need to ensure at the point that you register that there is a banking solution or a financial solution available for you. So for years, I had a bank account in Belize and a business account in Cyprus, because Cyprus does not tax on foreign earned income, which means if you don't have any clients in Cyprus and you don't take any income in from Cyprus, then you don't pay any tax on that income, which is great. Belize is also a tax-free offshore corporation. So that is also great. There's like a SAT fee that you pay, which is probably, I think it's around like $500 or something right now every year that I pay for my Belize company. And that works really well. But Cyprus did shut my account down a couple of years ago because they no longer take Belize companies. They no longer accept them. Belize has a bad reputation. So what I did in order to fix that, because obviously I lost my banking, I decided that I would open a company in Wyoming. So I have a company open in America. I was able to do that remotely, but I had to go to America to get my bank account. So again, this is like, we can go through all these scenarios and there's all these little details that go with each one. So in the end, what I did is I have my company in Belize, and I opened a branch of my Belize company in Wyoming. It's like a kind of, it's a tree company, Belize, and then Wyoming is just a part of that, like a sub company. Because I'm English, so technically America is a tax haven for me. I do not have to pay business taxes on my business in America because I'm from the UK. Great. So it's a tax haven, but that's not obviously the case if you're American. So again, it depends on the nationality and things like that. So for me, I went out to America and I was able to open a bank account, but I had to make 2 trips because I also need to do utility bills. So I had to open up a mobile phone contract while I was in America on my first trip. And it was a choice of either waiting there for a month or coming back and going back again, for the bill to go into the bank physically, to actually hand them the bill and be there to sign the paperwork. So again, it's like, it may be the case it will require some investment to get to where you need to be. Georgia is another very good option for businesses to do for digital nomads. But again, when you do the Georgia option, it's very easy to go there to open a business and to open a bank account. You just need your passport to open a bank account in Georgia. The banking system there is really phenomenal as well. They're a very organized country. Their systems are really, really excellent. So I do have a business out in Georgia. I do have a bank account out in Georgia, but you have to physically go to Georgia, and you could be there for 20 days. You might have to leave again. You might have to go back again for another 20 days. It was very open-ended there. So if you're a true digital nomad and you don't have a lot of responsibilities, then for you, that might not be a problem. Sure, I'll just hang out there for the next 20 days, 6 months, whatever. So for me to answer that question about where to register the VA business, it really depends a lot on you. And who you are, where you're from, that type of thing. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't advise formally on these things. I can only share information that I've gathered. A lot of people contacted me about this, and also I've also signed NDAs where I've taken information from people and I've been asked not to share it, which is fine too, but I can share what I've done personally. There are many other tax havens around. Malta, Gibraltar, we can go through them all. Where is it? Montenegro is a great one. But you have to stay there for 3 months every year. So if you're a digital nomad and you don't mind hanging out in Montenegro for 3 months a year or moving there or whatever, that's great. It's a brilliant tax haven, really low tax there. And also if you wanted to actually live in Georgia, it's very low tax there, because Georgia, again, no tax on foreign earnings. So as long as you're not earning from Georgia, then it's tax free. But if you're living there, obviously, and you become resident there, then it's like 10% tax, I think it was, the last time I checked. So there's a lot of information out there, and it's really something that you have to kind of pick for yourself based on a lot of factors. And also including where you intend to live for 6 months of the year, because a lot of people have restrictions on what you can do 6 months of the year, if you're in a country or not. If you're country hopping, I know people that literally move every 3 months just to avoid taxes. Or they used to, not anymore. See, you never know what's going to happen. Winsilla says, I have a recent recommendation. Who is a coach? Would Podia recommend as opposed to WordPress? Podia is fine for a coach if that coach is selling access to behind the scenes members areas or selling actual digital products as coaching programs. So for example, my coaching program that I'm going to be launching next month, which is on the Black Friday offer, people can go in there right now and join the members area. It's up, it's open. It just doesn't have obviously the product in it right now because it's live and we don't start till January. So if it's a coach who actually wants to bring together people in a group environment and be able to service those people where they're going to be giving them links to calls, information, notes, that they want it just accessible in one place, then absolutely Podia is a great choice for a coach. If it's a coach who just wants to sit there and do one-on-one sessions, then I would say a card account with a Calendly account for appointments would probably be just fine for that coach. So again, it depends entirely on what the goal of the coach is, what they're looking to achieve. As is with any client, you know, the first question as freelancers or virtual assistants we should be asking the client is, what do you want? What do you want to achieve? You know, like, how am I going to make this happen? So that's a conversation that you really need to have with the coach. Like, what are the coach's expectations? How do they want to do business? How do they want to deliver that business? And once you have the answers to those questions, then you can make a really educated decision, because coaching is a very vast arena. People do it in very different ways. So I hope that helps. Jocelyn said, I'm still working full time and I have been approached by a potential client for my VA services. They need someone full time. How can I go about getting this client while still working full time? My full time contract ends at the end of January 2021 and they are aware of this. I was thinking of getting my own VA team or a VA to help out. This is probably the most unbusinesslike answer you'll ever get about this, but it's wing it. Basically wing it. Everyone's like, yeah, I can tell these people those are the people that have done it before. Yes, I'm looking at you. So so many times I can honestly say, like, I quit my full-time job and I went total cold turkey and I started my business. So, but I was also working a full-time job when I started my business, which not many people know about. It was a job abroad and it just happened to fit in with my lifestyle and what I wanted. And I was able, you know, to do a lot of things. It paid hardly anything, but I got a lot of perks with it. It was in like a 5-star hotel and my family could go and stay there for free when they come in to visit me on holiday and things. So it wasn't like a full-time job, like I needed the money, because it was really not very good money, but it came with a lot of perks. So I did the full-time job in the day and I worked in the evening. And that's when I quickly discovered that when you're working with clients, you never give them set times of the day who've got obligations, whether it's kids or a full-time job. You never say, I'm going to work these hours of the day, which can sometimes be a problem for PAs. But we're in the digital world and we're independent contractors, and there was even a rule about this in America, that nobody, if you're an independent contractor, nobody can actually tell you to work certain set hours of the day in certain states of the United States. So it's a very complex model. So if people are looking for a virtual assistant to work with them full time, then they also have to understand that if you're an independent contractor and not an employee, I can't really advise on employee situation, but if you're an independent contractor, then it's best to say, well, as an independent contractor, I pick my hours. But then you start to say, well, I work to deadlines, so I'll get to things within 24 hours of the time that you deliver them. So as long as they don't mind not having you in those fixed working hours, you can, like I say, wing it with things like WhatsApp, your mobile phone. If you wanted to work more to response times to make the client feel a little bit more at ease, then you can check your phone on your breaks, in your lunch hour, respond to the client, then give them a deadline. Say, receive the work, check your email, whatever it is, while you're working. Receive the work and say to them, okay, I'm going to get this done by this day at this time, or I'll have this back to you by end of business tomorrow, something like that. You have to find something that's going to kind of be figure outable for you and the client, and providing they're not sat there, thinking that you're on the other end of that phone or that email or that project management space, sat there waiting for them, to give you something, then you will find a way to work it out. You've asked about getting your own VA team or a VA to help out. Yes, it depends on the client though. If they have particularly time sensitive stuff, then it would be good for you, I think, to have a VA that potentially can go in and just check inboxes maybe twice a day. So if the client says, well, I've got stuff that has to be seen and done that day, then maybe you could potentially hire a VA and ask them to go in and check that inbox twice a day to be able to process anything that's happened to come in. Again, like I say, and again, it comes back to winging it, because you don't know what the client's going to send, whether it's going to take an hour, whether it's going to take 2 hours. But if you hire on an hourly, just until you get to the point where you can step in from your side of things once your job is finished, then by all means do it. Do a temp contract with a VA who can just go in and check, you know, and it's fine for them to check once or twice a day and just process any work, charged by the hour. But again, you're going to have to say to the client, you know, what's going on. You're going to have to be transparent about that. So how, I mean, depending on how it goes, I would definitely say to the client, yes, you can do it. Yes, you'll be able to move forward. And then you need to figure out a set of guidelines and set of boundaries, have a meeting with the client to find out what their expectations are of you. And then figure out if there is a way that you can either meet those expectations or at least meet them halfway for a temporary period of time until you're able to fully commit. So as long as that's the case, and always I find as well, the first month or so of working with a client is generally very bitty, and you know, it's kind of like a learning curve month. So you can sell it like that. Just say, you know, we're going to go through a learning curve month where I'm not going to be fully present, and then, you know, we'll get instructions in place. Say that work is going to happen, you know, I'll take instructions, you'll start showing me what you want doing, what needs to be done. I'll start looking at the general requests that are coming in, and we can figure it out as we go. We can start creating instructions, build an intranet, all that good stuff. And once you're over that first month hurdle, then usually you can get into a rhythm after that, and that timing would be perfect, coinciding with the ending of your job. So I would say be positive about it. Go in with the idea that you will be able to work with that client, but you're going to have to figure out what those clients' expectations are, and then come up with a plan, devise a plan to manage those expectations, and then have another meeting with the client and say, this is how it's going to be. And as long as they're okay with that in the end, then it should be fine. So, and 9 times out of 10, if you go in there and you're confident and you've got a plan and you say, this is how it's going to work and this is what I'm going to do, as long as you can meet those obligations from your end and it doesn't put the client out dramatically, then it really shouldn't be a problem. They're looking for the confident person who's going to say to them, I can get this done in this way and this is my plan for how to do that. Cool. Justin says the Antiguan government has a digital nomad residence permit. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's so many things out there for digital nomads, but again, it really just depends on. It also depends on your financial means as well. You know, about where you can potentially register. There might be a great option, but it's going to cost you. Imagine if we could all just go to Antigua and register businesses there, and we never have to pay anything, you know. There's another country that's completely tax-free for everything, but you have to pay something like 200,000 euros for citizenship or something. Yeah, so there's lots of solutions out there, but it really depends on the circumstances. You know, for me, going out to the USA and going back again, made a very good long-term financial sense for me to do that, because it was a good stable option for my business. I was able to use Stripe, which I couldn't have before, so now I've got a Stripe account that's linked to my business, and I couldn't have that in Cyprus. So again, when you're looking at the banking options for the company as well, you need to look at what other options you want to work and coincide with those. You know, is your banking option going to give you the facility to be able to use some of the payment gateways online that you want to use for clients to pay by credit card and things like that. Okay, so oh my gosh, time is running here, running. We've got about 5 minutes left. Do we have any more questions? Happy to answer anything that comes up. It's been nice to see you all. I'm going to post the link again just in case anyone wants to take advantage of my Black Friday offer, because, you know, I like to participate. So that's my group coaching program starting in January. $297, but £200 off for Black Friday, £97, and I guarantee you it will be a brilliant investment because I'm putting my heart and soul into this for you guys, as I always do. But I just wanted to let you know. So I would suggest, guys, you get writing those lists. Start writing a list for yourself about your own self-development, your own things that you're looking to do in 2021. Does anything that's available out there right now come within your budget? Set yourself a budget. Does anything come within your budget that's going to really provide a solution to something that you or someone you love has right now, to a problem that you or someone you love has right now? Those are the things to invest in this Black Friday. Absolutely. Don't invest in appliances that you're going to use once and never look at again. That'll just sit there gathering dust in the kitchen or, you know, whatever. Really, really invest in something that's going to work for you. Nancy says she has to go. Nancy, thank you so much for joining us. Everyone, thank you for joining us. I'm going to wrap this call up. Hannah says, I started my 2021 dream list on the call and it includes a cleaner. Yes. I need a cleaner with just one dog. I can't imagine what it's like with 3 dogs. It's a nightmare. I've got 1 dog, 2 cats, 3 birds, 2 fish, and 3 children. My house absolutely needs a cleaner. It was a full-time job. Okay, good for you. And also, I can imagine that where you're living, cleaners are pretty economical as well. So well worth the investment. If it gives you that extra time on your business, extra time marketing, extra time building up client leads, whatever it is, it will pay back. I guarantee it. Justin says, good to everyone. Stay safe. Yes, everyone, stay safe. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving week. Antonella has a question. I'm going to squeeze it in the next 3 minutes. I'm just starting my VA business and my skill set is limited to admin services and customer services because that's my experience so far. Any suggestions for me? Yes, absolutely, Antonella. Start a VA business that just provides customer service and admin services because you've got more than enough to offer there right off the bat. If you want to come and you want to see how to start that business and grow that business in 2021, we're doing this group coaching. I know it's a little bit of investment, but it's £97 to invest in the group coaching. And I will be able to share with you on there. We're going to be going through on the coaching. There's homework days to create a plan for the business and put everything together and gather everything that you need for moving forward. So if you want more information on that, then just go to the link. But definitely your services are not limited. You know, if you see yourself as limited, then you will be limited, but you are limitless in certain areas. Okay. So don't see it as like, I've not got that much to offer. I've only got admin service and customer service. That's a huge amount to offer. Some people only start VA businesses with one skill, like transcription, you know, so don't worry about what it is you have to offer. It's all about how you package it, how you deliver it, and the quality of your service that makes a business. So don't worry too much about that. If you can join the coaching, come on the coaching because we've got tutorial videos, we've got live sessions, and we've also got the planning and homework days where I'm going to really action plan to start the business as well. She says it's little skills, but hopefully I can grow a long way. Absolutely. And I only started with like nothing. Basically, I could use email. That's what I started with when I became a VA. I could answer emails. And then it grew from there, and I taught myself how to build websites and go into graphic design, and then it became what it is today. So small beginnings can, you know, from little acorns can big oak trees grow. So we're going to leave it at that. That's a very useful saying. Just remember that. Nobody is ever limited to what they can do right now, because there's a big wide world out there and a lot to learn, and you can definitely take it in the direction that you want to take it in. So thank you so much, guys. We are going to wrap this call up now. It's been awesome. Don't forget to join me on the group coaching because I want to see you there and it's going to be fun. So take care, happy Thanksgiving, and I will see you on the call next month. I think we would have had Christmas already, so I'm going to say Merry Christmas to you guys, and I'll see you on the in-between next month. So happy November, December. Much love to you, and take care.